Etudes are an incredible way to elevate every aspect of your playing. In this video, I'm going to show you three, mini etudes that will give you a rock-solid foundation for improvising over tonic minor chords. If you've already downloaded my Jazz Warm-Ups and Etudes packet, which is free in the link below, you may have found it a bit overwhelming. It's entire song forms, so they're long. The point of this video is to show you that you can take that same idea of learning etudes, but doing it in a smaller, condensed form. These are going to be 4 bars, and they're going to be over one chord rather than over an entire song form. This is really effective. The other way is really effective too, because it can help you gain fluency over many chord changes. But this is to get you some vocabulary over specific modalities or tonalities. And the tonality today is going to be a tonic minor chord, minor 6, minor major 7, or simply minor. The key of this is the tonic minor has a major 6 and a major 7, whereas like a minor 7 Dorian sound has that flat 7. This is really great for tunes like Autumn Leaves, Alone Together, Beautiful Love, parts of Come Rain or Come Shine. These are very, very effective. So let's dive into these. I've got 3 of them, and then we'll talk about some ways to practice it. As with all things that you transcribe or anything like this where you're taking language, improvisational language, and incorporating it into an exercise, the goal isn't just to memorize licks. It's to understand the musical ideas and concepts that these licks contain. So we'll break that down in a bit. Okay, here's the first etude. We're going to be in C minor. And here it is. I'm going to keep the left hand real simple, just so you can hear the line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what's happening here, the parent kind of scale for this is C melodic minor. Some people call it the jazz melodic minor. It's the melodic minor scale, the ascending version going both ways. This is really just a minor, tonic minor, 6 diminished scale or bebop scale. There's elements of that in there, okay? So here's what we got here. Let's take this apart so you can see all the various little devices that are being used, okay? The first measure, we just have a walk up to the 5th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3, 2, 1. That's a real common movement. Okay? And then we've got 4, it's a chromatic approach, double chromatic approach down to the minor 3rd. And then real common motion there. 4 down to the flat 3, and then we go down to the 5th. We outline a G major arpeggio, and then an enclosure around the root. And then we just have a C minor arpeggio, and then another enclosure around the minor 3rd. Walk up to the 5th, flat 3 down, and then we have double chromatic down to the 3rd. That's also pivoting. Really what we're doing here on the second measure is we're outlining a minor major 9 chord, but we're pivoting it. Enclosure, arpeggio down, enclosure to the 3rd. All these little things can help you with memorization, but also these things help you see things when you transpose them. So if we go to G, we got same thing. This is why make sure you know your scales, outline all your okay. That's just a cool line. So say it with me again. Up to the 5th, flat 3, 2, 1. And we've got this double chromatic to the 3rd of the minor chord, down to the 5th. We outline a triad on the 5th, but also we're pivoting on a minor major 9 chord. Enclosure to the root. Arpeggio down an octave, and then enclosure to the 3rd. Let's do one more. Let's do E flat minor 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you do this and you can see these shapes and these little devices, the transposition gets a lot easier. If this is new to you, it just takes time. Even if you just do 2 or 3 keys at a time, that's enough. You don't have to think every session I got to do all 12 keys. No. If this is really new to you, just one other key is great. And that will build over time. Here's the second one. We're going to go to F minor. Okay? So, again, here's the defining difference between these sounds. Here's an F minor 7. Here's F minor 6 or F minor major 7. It's got that major 7 in there. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one we had a rest, so we come in on beat 2. Again, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so here's what's going on here. Again, we've got a double chromatic approach down to the 3rd of the F minor. Okay, and we're doing another pivot just like the last one. I'm intentionally keeping some similar movements on all of these so you can get to see these kind of in different configurations. So really, what's really happening here underneath, if we're arpeggiating another minor 9 chord, but we're pivoting it. See that? Then we resolve to the 1. Then we just run part of a minor, tonic minor bebop scale. And then we have an enclosure, just like the last one, to the 3rd. Very common motion. And then to finish it out, another common movement, we have this, I call it 3-5-2-4. 3-5-2-4-3. 3-5-2-4-3, and then another enclosure around the root. And then we go down to the 6, just because that's a cool sound. Whole thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a cool one. What do I got here? Key of A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, again, A minor. One more, let's do E minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's number 3. We've got some triplet rhythmic variations now to get some rhythmic interest going. D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. This one, so we've got, it's kind of a triplet enclosure around the root. And again, then we arpeggiate down, D minor triad. And then we've got this kind of enclosure, I guess you call it approach notes around the third of D minor. And then we arpeggiate up the minor major 9 arpeggio. I think I might have been saying that wrong. It's a minor major 9 arpeggio. And then we have this movement 3, 2, 3, 7, 2, 1. Okay? And then all we do, we just run down the minor bebop scale. So you get to work on your minor bebop scales with this one. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here's one. Let's do it in B flat minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more, we'll do G minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's talk about some different ways to practice these. The first way is what we would always say is just take each one through all 12 keys. I did 3 keys just so the video doesn't get super long, but that's the ultimate goal. Well, not the ultimate goal, that's one of the goals. I also think where this gets really effective then is you can break it down even smurther. Smurther? Break it down even further into smaller chunks. I'm gonna just pick one to demonstrate this. Let's just do the last one we just did, Okay, let's talk about all the different elements in here. We're gonna go kind of piece by piece, okay? And what I would say, find the little elements that resonate with you and we'll call those fragments, and then take those around the keys. So here's the first one. That first little bit there. And fragments should be between 3 and 5 notes at the most. If it gets to be longer than that, then it's just a bigger phrase. But this would be a fragment. Basically 6 notes with the resolution, but it's a 5-note fragment basically. Okay? I would take that around the keys. Okay, right there, because then if I'm playing lines, you can start incorporating it into your own vocabulary. The runway method, which we can talk about some more, and that's in a video that I'll link right here. You can check out the runway method. The next element you could practice from this one line, so what I'm trying to get at is there's 1, 2, 3, there's like 6 things you can get out of one line. The next one is the D minor arpeggio. Make sure you know your descending octave arpeggios. Remember, we're just trying to gain fluency. And the way to gain fluency is by doing things like this, okay? Here's the next one. The Clifford Brown tune, Dahood. That's that lick with the triplet, okay? Let me go back. There we go. Whoops. Okay? Don't play sloppy like I am right now, kids. So that's the next one. So far we've done 1, 2, 3 fragments. Here's another one. That's a great one to know. Whoops. And we're back home. Remember, I'm not doing this perfect. I say this in my videos. I'm not going to sit here and try to like always play everything perfectly. I'm working on this too. I'm not some like, you know, piece of museum glass that doesn't ever get washed or whatever because it's perfect. No. Like Bill Burr said, the comedian Bill Burr, like I'm like the scaffolding, the scaffolding that's been on a building for like 6 years. We're all just trying to get better here, right? Now, so we had, now we can just run a tonic minor bebop scale. Whoop. So this lick, these licks are teaching you things that you can work on. So if you're wondering what to practice, that line just gave you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different things you could practice. So you're not just practicing bebop scales on their own. You're practicing these things all in the context of actual language that you will play when you solo. That's why this is so beneficial. So there you have it. 3 mini etudes over tonic minor chords. Minor 6, minor major 7. Pay attention to the numbers that I have under the notes. Those are always the numbers, the scale tones relating to the chord change that's happening. That's really effective to know how to do, to see what is the third, the minor third, the major third, the second, the major seventh. Those things really help. Take these steps and work them through. Play the entire phrase and then try to work it through different keys. If that's even overwhelming, break it down into even smaller bits. Each of these has very specific things that you could work on. Once you play through them, you'll know which ones are more or less comfortable for you. Kind of do what I just did on this last etude. Find each little fragment and practice those through the keys as well. This is how you develop language. It takes time. Be patient. You got this. I'm here with you, okay? So I hope it was helpful. We'll do more of these throughout the next year. I'm going to do one on tonic major, dominant 7, altered dominant, half diminished. All the tonalities basically, diminished. So this is the first of many. Okay, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Oh, and happy practicing.